Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will be taking a look at another scary story from Reddit. So let's get right into it. I was always a light sleeper, but after moving into this apartment that I currently live in with my partner, I have gotten much worse. I do not know if it is because the walls are paper thin or because of the new squeaking floorboard in our bedroom. Doesn't matter. My brain now picks up every little noise. Sometimes it's cars driving by or people walking past our apartment. But other times, it's something stranger. We've been living here for about 6 months. At first, it was just me hearing these noises. I would wake up in the middle of the night convinced someone was in our apartment. My partner would just laugh at me because obviously no one could be in there. They were asleep and snoring softly beside me. How could anyone be in there? I would convince myself that I heard whispering voices, footsteps, scratching in the walls. But when the morning came and I had my senses back, I could never hear any of those sounds again. So I just wrote them off as my overactive imagination due to too many horror movies. Then my partner started hearing things too. Now they sleep with earplugs, so they do and have to listen to the annoying chirping crickets that we get at night. And even with those in, they can still hear what I hear sometimes. The latest sound is definitely the worst though. Every night now we hear heavy breathing coming from under our bedroom floor. I should specify that our bedroom is above our basement, which is unfinished, and where all of our extra stuff like suitcases, boxes, decorations that we don't use often, etc. we keep down there. At first, I thought it might just be mice. We'd hear these little scratching sounds sometimes, and we would find droppings in the corner of the basement door near the stairs. But my partner said that mice wouldn't make a noise like that. It almost sounds like someone gargling water, you know? When you hear that water going on both sides of their mouth and then swallowing. This has been happening for weeks now. It happens every single night, multiple times a night. Each time we hear it, we both freak out and turn on every single light in the house and check everywhere. Under the bed, in the closet, even in between the curtains. You never know. We make sure that the door to the basement is propped open using a big piece of wood. Just in case it's some animal trying to come in the house. We have a pretty big dog, but she sleeps with us in our bed. She hasn't made a peep when this breathing noise happens. If anything, she seems to just lay there calmly while it's going on, which makes us wonder, if it is an animal, is it hurting us in some sort of way? This has got to the point where we are too afraid to go into the basement. We've called pest control, and they checked out the whole house inside and out. They found droppings in the attic and laid traps. They haven't come back since, so I guess that means that they didn't find anything down there. Pest control guy even laughed at me when I told him about the breathing. He said that he would let me know if he found anything. That was 2 weeks ago. Still nothing. Tonight it happened again. Woke up in the middle of the night to the breathing, turned on the lights, checked around the room. Grabbed my phone and recorded a minute of the breathing. I went to show my partner, and of course they fell asleep again. Then I got the idea to record a longer clip so I could post it online and see if anyone had an idea of what it could be. I set the phone down on the floor and started to walk towards the basement door. That's when I heard a loud thump, followed by dragging. I froze and listened. Silence, then the dragging again, but closer to me. I dropped the phone and ran out of the room, straight into my partner, who thankfully was awake this time. We both freaked out and started yelling at each other because we couldn't see. Then we started to calm down and think. My partner grabbed the baseball bat that we keep next to the bed for emergencies and slowly walked down the basement stairs with me following right behind them. We have never done that before, not even during the day. We've shown the flashlight all around the basement and didn't see anything. The only thing different from the last time we went down there was that my phone was missing. I distinctly remember leaving it right next to the stairs on the concrete floor, but now it's gone. We looked everywhere, even ripped apart the boxes to check, and still nothing. Where is that phone? It wasn't there 20 minutes ago. Now we're too afraid to go down there again. We don't want to go down there during the day either because we're afraid, whatever it is, it's hiding during the day. So we called our landlord. Now he's coming tomorrow to check out the basement, see what's going on. Update. So my landlord came by yesterday to take a look at the basement, and he said that he would call us in a few days after talking to his handyman to see what it might be. Well, we heard the noise again last night, and once again it woke us up in the middle of the night. We were already expecting it though, so we had our phones fully charged and ready to record. Here is the longest clip that I managed to get. Unfortunately, we left the door propped open with a broom instead of a 2x4 like we usually do, and our dog decided to hide under the bed instead of sleeping with us. I'm glad that we were prepared though, because this time we caught something really interesting on camera. My partner and I watched the clip together and counted 13 distinct breaths before the scratching starts. Also, if you listen closely, you can hear our dog whimpering really quietly throughout the entire thing. Luckily, our landlord texted us earlier this morning to say that his handyman thinks that he knows what the problem is and that he will be coming by later today to fix it. Hopefully that fixes our problem. I'll update you guys again when he comes. Update. Okay, I'm so embarrassed. After our landlord fixed whatever was in our basement, we haven't heard the noise again. He literally just put a new lock on the basement door for us so we can close it properly for the first time ever. Apparently the previous tenants didn't close it all the way, either because they also had a dog that liked to bark. Anyways, after he fixed that, he also took the initiative to rip apart the boxes down there to see if there were any signs of rodents or anything else. He even brought a flashlight. I'd see better and make sure everything was okay. As it turns out, there was a family of raccoons that made their home down there. The mom, dad, and 2 babies. That's why we saw 13 breaths. That was how many there were total. Mom, dad, and their 2 babies. Also, he said that it's very normal for raccoons to make weird sounds when they are moving around in their sleep. Apparently, they also like to drag things around when they play, which explains the dragging sound that I heard. So yeah, that was the culprit all along. We did find a few droppings that he said were probably from the raccoon. He also said that they like to chew on electrical cords and wires, which is why we kept hearing the buzzing sound whenever we turned on a light. I'm so relieved to know that it was just a family of raccoons all along, but at the same time I'm mad that we never knew. We probably should have known when we moved in that the previous tenants had a dog that barked all the time, who keeps their basement door open all the way with a dog that barks. Also, our dog seemed totally fine with the raccoons being down there. When the landlord opened the door completely for the first time in months, she wanted to run down the stairs after him. Thankfully, he stopped her before she made it down there. He said that she probably wouldn't have been able to do much damage. But knowing her, she would have tried. She's a good dog. She hasn't barked once when she heard the raccoons down there. I guess she was probably just as scared as we were and didn't want to scare them off. We will be closing our basement door every night now, but at least we can sleep soundly, knowing that it's just a family of raccoons down there. That was the end of the story. And if you like this type of content, click the subscribe button to get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, if you want to listen to more scary stories, then you can click here to go to my podcast. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.